All right, so big blockbuster movie with Ryan Gosling, Emily Blunt, explosions abound. What is it about?
It's about little bean-shaped guys running around an obstacle course like Wipeout.
What the hell movie did you watch?
It's a video game, Fall Guys.
Wrong Fall Guys.
Oh.
Welcome to Cinefanatics. My name's Robert Adams.
I'm Chris Adams.
And we've got a spoiler-free review for The Fall Guy.
I got a what?
The Fall Guy.
Spoiler-free review.
Spoiler-free review.
Okay.
For The Fall Guy. I was just trying to make sure I wasn't including that S because now I'm so used. I'm already used to hearing
Fall Guy.
The Fall Guy,
The
not
Fall
The
Guy.
Fall Guys. Anyways, so yeah, this is a love letter to stunts, directed by David Leitch, who used to be a stuntman himself. So, who better to make this movie? That was the one thing I will say right off the bat while watching this. I was like, how did it take this long for an ex-stuntman to make a movie about stuntmen?
You just gotta get the right guy positioning himself in the right place. I mean, after Deadpool and John Wick, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess Bullet Train.
And the Bullet Train, yeah. Yeah, so I saw a lot of the passion in that. And it's funny. Like, you hear about the premise of a movie, you watch a trailer, like, oh, okay, this will be fun. I'm watching this movie, and all the action set pieces they're doing, I'm like, oh, this is completely, like, hyping up the stunts. This is putting the stunts first and foremost in focus. And it's a blast.
Well, also putting a fun story around it, too.
Yeah, surprisingly, like, it's not, I wouldn't necessarily call it gimmicky, but the idea that we want to put the stunt team first, we want the stunts to shine in this movie, while still making some kind of a story out of it. And then also it being something that's a throwback to a TV show.
Yeah, let's say, for those of y'all who don't know, this is also based on an old TV show. I believe it starred Lee Majors.
Lee Majors, yep.
Yeah, so... a lot of like stuff to pull from that show going into this, and of course you got to get your hapless golden retriever of a man, Ryan Gosling, to be the lead in this movie. Of which, by the way, Ryan Gosling is Ryan Gosling. He just comes in. He's reliable. He is a golden retriever. He's reliable. He's loyal. He gets the job done. He's fun to watch. He's fun to hang out with.
And he's having a hell of a career right now. Between Barbie, his SNL work, the Oscars performance, and now this movie. I want to be Ryan Gosling.
He's on the top
Not
of the
just
mountain.
in looks. I mean, I look good enough as is. I don't need his looks. I'm okay. Taken care of. I want his career and like everything that he's doing right now. It just looks like he's having so much fun.
Yeah. It just... And then, okay, let's talk about. You got Ryan Gosling. You got the Emily Blunt, or as Ryan Gosling likes to say on the red carpet, Emily Blunt.
I was gonna call her like Emily Stunt.
Funny. No, I was referencing the Beavis and Butthead thing on the red carpet.
There's that too. I mean, I was including that with the SNL.
Yeah. The chemistry between the two of them was fantastic in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's probably because Ryan Gosling's really good at just creating chemistry with anybody. And then, of course, Emily Blunt is just a fantastic actress herself. So when you put those two together, you're going to get magic. But, yeah, that they were kind of partly the glue that held the progression of the movie together. There's a lot of action. There's a lot of action sequences. And then there's the whole storyline of Ryan Gosling's character having to go find the movie star, Aaron Taylor Johnson's character, and the whole time. And... It was the chemistry between him and Emily Blunt that kind of tied the whole movie together from piece to piece, from scene to scene.
Yeah. I love the fact that Aaron Taylor Johnson's character's name was Tom.
Yeah.
And that he's like this larger-than-life Hollywood actor. I'm like, okay, we get who you're trying to nod towards, hint at.
Tom Ryder.
Yeah, Tom Cruise writer, yeah.
Yeah.
What I thought would have been funny, though, is given that, I don't know if you remember the old like MTV Movie Awards way back in the day. There was a skit that they did with Ben Stiller as Tom Cruise's stuntman, and that was so funny. And it would have been funny to see like if he would have had a cameo in this movie, just popping up just in passing, like, oh, there goes Tom Cruise's stuntman. Hey, how's it going? And then walks off the set. Like,
just funny because Tom Cruise is actually infamous for doing all his own stunts, basically. But no, this is actually a well-rounded cast too, because beyond Emily Blunt, Ryan Gosling, Aaron Taylor Johnson, you also got Hannah Waddingham, who's famous from Ted Lasso, and she's playing the producer of the movie in this movie, the producer of the movie they're filming in this movie.
This is going to be fun to talk about.
Yeah. Very different than the role she plays in Ted Lasso, where she's basically owning the soccer club, essentially. So if you want to see her in a different role, it's you got it here.
She was very pushy and somewhat annoying in this movie. I was like, oh, can we just not?
She's not annoying in Ted Lasso.
Then you got, like, was it Winston Duke? Mm-hmm. Who is like
Winston Duke.
The epitome. The point of his character is to talk to Ryan Gosling in movie quotes.
Yeah.
And then you, as the viewer, who, if you're a cinephile like us, we're sitting there
trying to get the movie
trying
quote
to guess where the quote is coming from.
Trying to guess the quote before they guess where the quote is from.
Yeah. Like, he starts quoting Rocky, and we're like, that's good. But yeah, like, he just speaks in fluent movie quotes, and I love it. It was great.
Plus, it's Winston Duke. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
How many movies now have we seen Winston Duke in? And he's just a joy to watch every single time. So.
Yeah. The other like name I would say in this movie that stuck out was Stephanie Sue.
Yeah.
I love seeing her in more and more stuff now after Everything Everywhere All at Once. And she was a great character in this. She was a lot of fun.
Yeah, she was,
especially in that one action scene.
There wasn't a whole lot that she did in the movie, but the time that she was on screen, yeah, she was an absolute joy to watch. Her participating in an action sequence was a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. There's just a lot of joy that you can tell every member of the cast is having while making this movie, knowing full well also that they are making a movie that is a wonderful throwback to just general Hollywood movie making and like we were saying, the stunt community as a whole, like everyone's saying.
So for the stunt community, did you notice that other than, like, for the most part, other than, like, say, Teresa Palmer, all the other actors in there were people you probably didn't readily recognize. Mm-hmm. They were all stunt people.
Yeah, and namely, there's a couple of Ryan Gosling's personal stuntmen who actually had ample screen time in the movie. One of which playing a very pivotal and important character in the goings-on of the film. So that was actually really interesting to see, because we know also that several of them are playing stuntmen in the movie while also playing the assistants to the stuntmen, namely the guy who did the 8 rolls in the car. The
barrel rolls, yeah.
Breaking the record, which they reference it breaking the record in the movie too, which is very meta, by the way.
There's a whole lot of it. Like, the production company, was it 87 North, is also the production company of the movie within the movie.
Yes. So the guy who actually did that stunt, was the one helping Ryan Gosling out of the car after the stunt was over.
I want to see, just as a quick side thing, I want to see if someone made, like, a full feature-length documentary about this movie.
Yeah.
Because I want to get lost in how they pulled off some of this stuff.
This is where you go for the physical release, like the Blu-ray or the DVD, and you watch all the special features.
Yeah. I know, like, the most infamous one that I'm kind of blanking on the title. I want to say it was, like In the Darkness, In Search of Darkness. It was a full documentary about the making of Apocalypse Now. It was like In the Darkness or In the Madness or something like that. And it's like a 2.5 hour long documentary about the making of that movie. Mm-hmm. I want to see that for this movie. We get, like, at the end of this movie, during the credits, you do get, like, the behind-the-scenes footage that's showing it, that you're seeing them performing a stunt with the stuntman to make the stunt for the movie within the stunt.
Yeah.
If that made any sense, then congratulations. Please hit subscribe. But I want to see more of, okay, we need to make this look like a stunt for the movie within the movie, but this is an actual stunt that we need to do. For example, that barrel roll. I want to see everything that went into that. We saw
The cannon
everything.
roll. Yeah.
We saw everything that went into it from within a movie, which was very short and brief and quick. He just got in the car. They said the barrel's ready to go. They hit it. He spins, and that's it. There's a lot more to it in real life.
The technical term is the cannon roll. Excuse me.
Cannon roll. The barrel roll.
Dual barrel roll. No.
There's a lot of like just.
I'm not a stuntman. I just have a YouTube channel.
You do your own stunts on the YouTube channel.
I do.
Just sit there. There's a lot of like really meta stuff that goes in and out, and that's because like any movie that you see where in the movie they are making a movie, I think it has a lot of the same kind of tropes. The movie they're making, very corny, very cheesy looking movie.
It looks like Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon mixed with like some like Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. There's definitely like some Dune in there.
Yeah,
it's so funny.
It's like a standard fake Hollywood blockbuster sci-fi film.
It also kind of reminds me of the movie that they're making in Tropic Thunder, the movie
Basically,
of Tropic Thunder, and how cheesy and corny that was in some of the shots they were doing.
Kind of the same thing.
And what I wonder as a filmmaker, when you're making a movie, do you actually see the end product when you're filming these scenes, or do you see these scenes as the cheesy, corny thing that we all see? And it's after all like the color correction, that special effects and the lighting and everything gets applied.
My argument is that they play up the corniness factor for making a movie in a movie. It's very different in real life.
So we as the audience can separate it?
Yeah. We can go, okay, clearly they're making a movie that absolutely none of us would actually go see.
Yeah.
But the way they pull it together, the way they utilize what feels like the actual crew members of the movie in the movie is actually very well done. And everything is, like we said, everything is nice and tight. And the sequences, the set pieces, everything just felt so well loved when they were creating it. Like we mentioned in our out of theater reaction that a lot of this feels like a 90s throwback to like those classic 90s action movies where you've got like, say like Speed, for instance. You got the bus or whatever is jumping and there's an explosion, or
I'm thinking like Speed, Demolition Man, Eraser, like all of those movies, The Rock, Face Off, like all these action full of stunts that were done generally practically, especially back in the 90s where we didn't have a whole lot of digital effects to comp in
pyrotechnics and all that. Yeah, it did a very good job of kind of like getting you to reminisce about those kinds of movies. Just a very big love letter to how Hollywood used to make an action movie. And I think because of that, that's where this movie really succeeds. Now, the other side of this movie is the actual story, the dialogue, and how they get from place to place, because there's times where I feel like they were kind of getting away from the dialogue a little bit. Like the dialogue was getting away from them just a little bit, and they were kind of like saying things, but then like, okay, what's the character's reasoning for doing this, and why are they thinking this way? There's moments where I was getting kind of lost on that. Not that I'm saying that the movie was losing me, but I'm just kind of going, okay, what's the point of him going there and doing this and that? And I think what that means is that there was moments where there wasn't a whole lot of exposition moving the action of the movie. Rather, the action of the movie was just moving and expecting you to keep up with it, which is perfectly fine.
I kind of feel like it reminded me of like if you've ever seen any of like the behind the scenes of like SNL, of how they make Saturday Night Live, where you have these people talking and that's holding the attention of the audience while everyone else is back here preparing for the next stunt.
Right.
You got the rest of the crew is like, all right, we're about ready to shoot the next stunt. That's not how movies actually are made, but I mean, that's kind of what it felt like within the audience watching this movie.
No, yeah. So as far as all that goes, very well done. There's also the humor of the movie. The humor of the movie was hilarious. There's multiple moments in the movie where I was laughing so hard. And I don't want to spoil any of it. I really wanted to say a certain animal that appears, but I don't want to tell you what the animal is or what the reasoning is. You need to watch it for yourself. But there is also a wonderful dog in this movie.
Yes.
It's not the animal, but
Yeah. There is, if you are a fan of movies and how movies get made, you're going to love this movie. This movie is, at its heart, at its core, it's about making movies, and specifically the stunt people that are involved in making the movies. The stunt people who risk their life for your entertainment. They risk their body. Every shot, every take they do is a risk for them. And we get to see, well, like at the very beginning, they light Ryan Gosling on fire like 3 or 4 times. That's just for one little shot that takes like 10 seconds to film, and he is constantly being set on fire with proper precautions, the way stunt people do fire stunts.
yeah.
But
It's funny, though.
it's great. But we are seeing multiple stunt pieces throughout this movie, and you can see they showcase all the different kinds of stunts: fighting stunts, fire stunts, driving stunts,
Literally everything.
like
Falling
wire stunts. All of this is all involved in this movie in some form or fashion, and they do a beautiful job of showcasing it while still keeping you within the world of this is the movie that we're making. And the main point of all of that is we see so many parts, so many moving parts in making a movie. The acting, the directing, the script, the production, the set production, makeup, and hair. And all of these get noticed when it comes to awards.
Yep.
Specifically, like the big one, the Academy, the Oscars. We don't see anything about stunts. And there's been people begging, let's start recognizing stunts in the Oscars for years.
They even call it out in this movie.
They called it out in the movie. The past Oscars, they actually did mention stunts as well, with Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt. Yeah. I don't know how they pulled that off,
that makes sense.
But it's time. These people are risking their lives for our entertainment, for art, but you are being entertained by what they do. And I want to say they're faceless. There's some stunt people, because we like movies, that we see, we're like, hey, there's that person. I know a couple of them by name that I would recognize if I see their face. You're not really supposed to see their face, but sometimes you do. But
they look like Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, these people need to be respected and honored for their job as well. They have very key pivotal scenes. Those amazing stunts, explosions, fights, drops, swims, dives, everything would not be possible. They are the thing that when you're watching a movie and you go, whoa, that's the stunt person.
Yep. So basically what we're trying to do is not only tell you about this movie, but also tell you that the Academy needs to start honoring stunt people with a category. I don't know how it works or what it would look like, but they need to get it done. Stunt artistry needs to be recognized because there is absolute artistry to it.
I think you just create the category and then you send out all these movies to like the people who vote and go, hey, by the way, start watching the stunts in this movie too.
so I'm saying, is it the stunt coordinators, the directors, the actual stuntmen themselves, stunt people? You know, who is it that actually receives it? Yeah, there's a whole thing to it. But regardless, they need to start being recognized. So, as far as this movie goes, it was a ton of fun. It's going to be fun to rewatch when it comes out for home viewing. I will very much enjoy throwing it back on again. It's gonna be high up there for me, I think, throughout the whole year, just because it was so much fun. I cannot overstate how fun this movie is. It's fun.
Is it a perfect movie? No, I agree with you. There are, like, especially the in-between stunts, the dialogue had me, it's a little slow, but it is going to be a blast on rewatch.
Yeah.
So, I highly recommend this. Overall ratings for this movie, I'm going to give it a 8.
Yeah, I was going to say solid 8.5 from me.
Yeah, this is a good movie. Go watch it on a big screen because, again, seeing those stunts on a big screen, it's just amazing.
It's just fun. It's fun. It's fun to watch those stunts. Like, again, they're talking about like they're like 90s action movies on a big screen like we got back in the 90s. I'm repeating myself. It's fun.
It's to drive home the point, which I know I do that a lot too, but yeah, it's a fun movie. Go check it out. Anyways, that's going to do it for this review. What did you think of this movie or the review? Let us know down below in the comments. Hey, you know what? While you're down there, hit that like button. It's right there next to you. Also, hit the subscribe button so you can come back and see all the other times that we're calling movies fun over and over and over again, because there's a lot of fun movies out there and you want to know about them. So hit that subscribe button. Make sure you come follow us on social media. We are at The Cinefanatics on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and I think that's it, right?
Yeah, it's
Okay. One of those may be disappearing pretty soon. So go follow while you can.
within the next 9 months.
You can follow me at RCA Reacts on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Letterboxd, and YouTube.com/@RCA Reacts.
And you can follow me at Chris Adams MLP on Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd, and Twitch.tv/Chris Adams MLP.
Anyways, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.